So now, our last performer of the evening, a welcome return from Lisa Kelly. Here she is.
I'm going to lower this, I hope.
I forget how tall I am.
I'm not very technical.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great, thanks. Yeah, I think the second half we've all got a bit darker, but as it goes. I'm going to start off with one which is a bit surreal, and I'm just noticing who's in the back row, as everybody is, noticing. And sometimes, I don't know if you're at an event and you kind of like just get a bit distracted. You're not actually watching the performer, you sort of go into this dreamlike state, and this poem came out of that. The Beauty of Backs. In the audience, I sit in the back row. The performance is the bait which lures a back into the net of my gaze. This one, in a navy blue jacket, is hunched. The coarse material is dusted with dandruff, each speck as individual as a snowflake. I long to scoop one up with the tip of my tongue. A rat's tail caught by an orange elastic dangles. The scissors in my bag are sharp. Snip, and it would be mine. But not tonight. Tonight, it is a spot with a perfect head of pus. Raspberry ripe with a glob of cream that bursts in my mind. So close to its climax, it pulsates on the nape, tempts my forefingers, then the back leans forward. And this one is for anybody who's ever had a crush, which I'm sure is actually most of us. And at various times in my life, I still, not because necessarily I've got a crush on someone, but you still feel that sort of feeling of just total inadequacy and not knowing what to say, or just, you know, piece of poo, basically. A classmate. Standing awkwardly over the bin in the classroom corner, trying to look as cool as possible in a navy A-line skirt, several inches below the knee, because Peter Kashmarik's coming to sharpen the lead in his pencil. And sure enough, here he is, tall, blonde, cocky. And our pale yellow shavings are mingling, dropping on top of cartons emptied of the milk we have to drink at break, until it's snatched from our creamy lives. And here he is, and here he is, and here he is, and I can't think of anything to say, nothing, because I am me, and he is he who goes out with the second best looking girl in the school, Annette Channer, who, he assures me, is big for her age. And I haven't got a hope, not a chance, but still, it is me he sits next to in assembly and reveals flecks of gob on the tip of his tongue when we should be intoning the Lord's Prayer. And it is me he tells about the film he shouldn't have seen with the woman who does things with a cucumber that no playground mother would do. And it is me he is standing next to now. And it is me he's asking out. But I'm so unready for this moment, I say, what? And he says, nothing. And goes back to sit down in his place somewhere towards the back, and I take my place somewhere towards the front and dig the sharpened pencil point into the palm of my hand until I have do-it-yourself stigmata, in an effort to focus on decimal fractions where the denominator is a power of 10, and not think to the power of 10 about gob and Annette Channer and the Lord's Prayer and cucumbers and being asked out and responding, what? I think that could have been my best relationship ever, but sadly never happened. As a mother, you know, I mean, that's about, you know, early stages of sexual awakening, but I think as an adult and then having children, you have to be, well, I talk for myself, but, you know, you have to be careful. I have to be careful about not assuming things that my son is doing and the games that he's playing and sort of my own sort of dark thoughts wrongly attributed. So this poem came out of that. Dog Days. They've been playing dogs again. The evidence, a bowl filled with water. Why always this game? A clumsy foot could spill it. I ought to empty it in the bathroom sink. The dressing gown cord served as a lead. I study the difficult knot, unpick the noose end, and thread it through its loops off the floor and secure it in its rightful place on a hook on the back of the door, which they had closed, I notice. Dry cereal litters the carpet, which will have to be hoovered. I wonder, was it a reward for being a good pet, for sitting and begging and rolling over? Drag from the lounge a beanbag, another prop for this fantasy they invent. Yes, for sure, a real dog would sleep here, and the imprint of a curled body is still visible. I fill it with my own and consider, is my adult unease risible? And then, who was the owner? I question my son. I'm never the boss. I'm the dog and have to do what Joe says, or he smacks me and tells me off. When he breaks from my leash one day, nose twitching, sniffing for scents, cocking a snook, following a track, so much depends upon how I react. And you'll be pleased to know I smacked him thoroughly for that. Okay, this poem, and my brother's here tonight, and he went through a terrible accident, and you know, we've all been hearing about different experiences of awful things happening, and I think what struck me was just how quickly your life can change from being exceptionally mundane to something really quite profound. So this poem came from that experience. Cold Call. The phone's ringing and I'm back from the school run thinking, shall I put the washing on, or shall I play Polly and put the kettle on, or shall I answer the phone? And you know how you think ahead, think who could it be at this time, just gone 9, and the usual suspects crop up, an overqualified graduate in a call centre, or an overweight double glazing salesman, and then you think, don't overanalyse, pick up the phone. So I pick up the phone and say, hello, in that voice you put on for an overqualified graduate in a call centre, or an overweight double glazing salesman, the sort of hello that suggests you really are an extremely busy person with precious little time to even put the washing on, or play Polly and put the kettle on. And I start multitasking in the pause between saying hello in that voice you put on for an overqualified etc. or an overweight etc. and the response from an overqualified etc. or an overweight etc. And I clamp the phone between my ear and shoulders and my hands are free to fill the mouth of the washing machine with dirty sheets or flick the kettle switch. But it's not an over anyone. It's a policeman who might be overqualified or overweight, but that's really neither here nor there because I have no mental image of his overness, just the horror of the cliché of the call from a policeman, and some part of me leaves me and watches me breaking down, clutching the phone now with both hands, all thoughts of putting the washing on or flicking the kettle switch gone, and crying, no! In that cliché way people do when they get a call from a policeman informing them that their brother was knocked off his bike by a bus on West End Lane in rush hour traffic and fell under a lorry which ran over his leg with the first set of wheels, over his leg with the second set of wheels, and over his leg with the third set of wheels, because really, they'd much rather get a call at just gone 9 from an overqualified graduate in a call centre, or an overweight double glazing salesman, to which they can respond, hello, in that voice you put on, the sort of hello that suggests you really are an extremely busy person with precious little time to even put the washing on, or play Polly and put the kettle on. And going on the miserable theme to do with my family, my mother, well, our mother died a couple of years ago, and I was with her at the end when she came back home. She wanted to die at home from the hospital, and it is quite a, obviously extremely poignant, memorable, awful thing when you're travelling with somebody for the last time. So this is Homeward Bound. I forget their names, Peter and Paul perhaps, definitely not Burke and Hare, well-mannered, no distinguishing features, salt of the earth chaps, gentle when they lifted my mother onto the trolley bed. Wheeling her away, they were careful of corners, conscious that her bones hurt, easing her fears with solicitous murmurs. There, Lillian, home soon. Nothing more to avert. Goodbye to the nurses who had done so much, remembering gown, comb. Goodbye to hope. On with the journey, only our fingers touch, wanting to reassure within this limited scope. Inside this ambulance, we each have a view. The traffic jam for them, home for her, for me, a pew. And finally, I'm afraid it doesn't actually get much more cheerful. And my last poem is in South Bank Poetry. You've got the wonderful editor here, Peter Ebsworth. Yeah, cycling to the South Bank. And the wheels keep turning past lampposts like sentinels, past lampposts lining streets waiting for the cortege, past a lamppost marking respect without sentiment for some senseless loss, wrapped with flowers, a teddy tied to it. And the wheels keep turning past the dog walkers, past dogs, past men in skull caps, over skulls beneath bitumen, up this bitch of a hill, that blasted heath, and the wheels are slowing converse to breath. At the summit, which way? Downhill all the way. And the wheels are spinning now, no effort required, no effort desired, chasing leaves in a swell past the paddle splashing girl, the blur of hedges, as the day unfurls, then curls at the edges, down through Camden, towards the river and its winding, past street names stuck in certainty, Castle Haven, Georgiana, Royal College, Goldington, stuck in certainty, noble in certainty, and the wheels keep turning, one revolution more. Thank you very much.
What a moving set by Lisa. That's terrific. So more applause, please, for Lisa Kelly. So just a plug for next month's show. We're having a book launch for our wonderful webmaster, Mr. P.R. Murray. His new book, Son of the Glowing Night Soil of the Concealed Emu, is launched here on October the 19th. And there's a couple of copies actually here on sale. So Pete plus lots of other good poets. Before we go, I'd just like to acknowledge what a great evening we did have. So please put your hands together for Alison Wedge once more. No order of preference. Patrick, your name. Richard Tyrone Jones. Lazarus of the Poetry Scene. And Lisa Kelly. Thank you. Books are still on sale. The bar's open till 11, and that's it. So thanks for coming to enjoy our Salute September show. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.